Hello, good morning and welcome back to the Fish Locker out on the boat. This is going to be, hopefully, the first hauling of the Fish Locker crab pots of 2022. People have been asking me for a while, have been saying, are you going to be working pots on the new boat? And I've said, yes, I am. I just haven't figured out quite how I'm going to do it yet. Because what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to damage the new boat with the crab pots. So through the winter, I spent a bit of time thinking of an idea of how I was going to do it, and hopefully this is the solution. I have built a platform for the back of the boat to work the crab pots. First time I'm going to use it, I don't know if it's going to work yet. I run some pots off the other day, I've run 5 pots off. Yeah, we've had a bit of bad weather, so they've been sat for 3 days. Hopefully we'll go and check them now. There might be something in them. This is going to be a work in progress. So throughout the year you might see this change. This might be the first and only time I use it, we don't know. But fingers crossed. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit more swell than I thought there was going to be. Yeah, we've got about 5 foot of swell, but I got yes, got a lot of spider crabs in the area at the minute. So you can see there's a lot of spider crabs in this one pot. They have worked. It is a little bit early to put the pots out. They've got 2 lobsters in them, but they're both undersized. I'll show you what's inside the pots now. This is what's known as a pinky. Can you see how much pink it's got in it? This is a little female lobster, probably about 85 mil. Look at the colour on that. Every now and again you do get one and it is an absolute beauty. Now this is undersized. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down in this tub and I'm going to take a photo of it in a minute. Little male brown edible crab, way undersized. Another one hiding at the back, another little male. Now these pots are absolutely clean. There's not even a scrap of bait left in the bottom of them. Like I said, they have been out for a few days. This one here, that's quite a large male spider crab. See, most of the meat in him is in these claws. If he's stretched out, he would be a... See, they are a decent size when they get going. This is still quite a small one though. So 1, 2, 3, and another little tiny one. And one more little Larry lobster. Another little female. Well undersized. This one will be probably 70 mil. And a little male velvet swimming crab. Just tuck these 2 aside. See what I mean about the colour variation between the 2 now, can't you? Bearing in mind that these are both females, they're both roughly the same size, They're both the same species, and yet they're completely different colours. Now they do vary slightly as to what ground they've been on. If one's been on clean ground, it's usually paler. If one's been right down in the rough stuff, it's darker. Sometimes when you get them in the wrecks, they're a little bit black and a little bit rusty. Yeah, that is a beautiful little lobster. These pots, this type of pot, is an ex-commercial pot. I've not been using any of the ones that I'm using my own homemade pots last year, and unfortunately people just kept stealing them. So I'm going back to working these. The beauty of these pots is baiting them up. They have a little bait bag in there. You're lucky you can't smell this. Because yeah, it doesn't smell very nice. There's one ready to go back. Let's get the rope sorted out, swing back round, and we'll get them shot back. Right, now that I've sorted them pots away and I've not got all the ropes on my feet, let these two little ladies go. They are stunning, aren't they? No two the same. This little pinky especially, she's lovely. Probably in like a year or so's time she'll be ready to take. A little bit too small now though. A lot of white in her claws as well, isn't there? Let's go and see if we can't find the other ones. Come on, last one. Right. Oh, tell you what, that was the first pot had come tangled up in a rope. So that was all the drama I had. Yeah. Got a lovely sized lobster in there. But I think she's buried. I think it's a buried female. And the other one, I'll have to get a measure on it. But yeah. Got 3 lobsters in this pot. And just a stack of crabs in the rest. Deal with this one first. Deal with this one first. It's a male spider crab. Little tiny pale one. Ah, a little ginger female. She's undersized, but if one of these is a male, I can maybe show you the difference. Come on, let go. He's hanging on tight. This will show you something different. Look at the difference in colour of these two. Both spider crabs, both males, only a little bit of a difference in size. Look how red he is compared to this one. Bright red. This is the difference between a male and a female. Immediately you can see they're behaving differently. A female has adopted a defensive pose. All she's done is she's brought everything in to protect where's vulnerable. The male, he's more like, come on, I'll have you. Aggressive pose, defensive pose. Female, male. Also the females have got a very large pad underneath, an apron, whereas the males have just got a little V. Bigger claws on the males. Yeah. A female and a male brown edible crab. Both of them undersized. See what I've had in there, can't you? Like a dragon skull. That there is a ling skull. You can see the teeth on the end of it. And a little velvet swimming crab. We have got one more edible crab in there that might be big enough to keep. It's got a rolled up pot with his claws. There's not much you can do there. I don't know if you can see it. Just have to wait for them to let go and then get them out. If you try and be too rough with them, you can rip their claws off. It's a waste of time having them. Give him a minute to come out by himself. But in this one, this one's done, this one's done the business. Another little male edible crab. But not just one lobster. A little female blue weight. Little female. Yep. This is a lovely sized lobster. This is probably well over 100 mil. But if I can be really careful, you see under there? This is a pregnant female lobster carrying eggs, and these eggs are almost about to hatch. You can see because she's shedding the odd one or two. Now these eggs, when they start out fresh, when they're just laid, they're green. Then they go black. Then they go red and black. And that's the stage that they're at now, and then they hatch. So what I'm going to do for her, I'll explain all that in a second actually. I'll deal with the pots and I'll sort her out. Yeah, it's illegal to land a pregnant female lobster. But this guy, yes, easy. This guy is big enough to keep. This is a male. You can see he's a male by them two little dots under there. This is a male lobster of about, I would say, 94 mil. I'll measure him in a minute. No V-notches, no eggs, above minimum landing size. This guy is coming home with me. So yeah, all the business was done by one pot. So that just shows you there, if you put them in the right place, what have we had there in total? We've had probably we've had 5 lobsters, 2 big enough to keep, 1 was a female with eggs though, probably 10 edible crabs, possibly 1 big enough to keep, and a load of spider crabs out of 5 pots. I'll get these rebaited, get them all ready to shoot back, and I'll talk to you about that female lobster with them eggs. First impressions of that platform, I'm really happy with it. I don't know if you'll get any type of perspective of the size of these swells that are coming behind me. Yeah. 6 foot swell. It's like a different world in here, isn't it? I've took myself right in tight underneath the cliff to be able to talk to you, because out there I was just getting thrown around all over the place. Now the crab that was stuck in the pot, the one that wouldn't let go when I said it might be big enough, this is it. Now there's 2 different minimum landing sizes for brown edible crabs in my area. One for a male, one for a female. Now a male needs to be 160 mil across the back, across the carapace. Now you can get gauges, you can get no-go gauges, which means it's something that's measured out and all you do is you put it on top. I'm going to show you how to measure them with a tape. It's 160 mil for a male. I think this one's going to be about 155. Just measure them right across the widest part, and this one is just over 150. So across that widest part there. So this guy's too small. Yeah, like I say, the reason you can tell it's a male is because of that V underneath there. Spider crabs. This male spider crab here, they have to be 130 mil. Now this guy, although he's big enough, he's 140. So 140 across the back. Just straight across there, like that. Although he is big enough, he isn't very big. You get them and they are 3 times this size. Now the best of the meat of these guys is in the claws, in the legs and inside here and here. I've done some foraging videos before where I've collected these off the shore and cooked them up. I'll tag them into here now. Now this guy, although he's big enough, he's not big enough, if that makes sense. the lobsters. We have two different ones. We have a male and we have a female. The female has eggs. I'm going to deal with her in a second. I'm going to talk to you all about that. But the male, you measure that along the hard part of the back, the carapace. These have to be 90mm. This guy is 92mm. I don't know how well I can show you that, but it's 92mm. So from the back of the eye socket to the back of the carapace, like that there. 92mm. I knew he was big enough. One of the bylaws, one of the things that I think is a great step for conservation in our area for lobsters, is something called the V-notching scheme. And that being, if a lobster is pregnant with eggs, if you know she's a proven breeder, fishermen, like myself and other commercial fishermen, they mark the tail with a V. They cut a V into it, which marks that, fly me here, that marks that as being a breeding female. There is a bylaw that protects those so they can't be landed. So this young lady here, who is, like I say, probably about really gentle with those eggs underneath. Can easily have a couple of thousand eggs there. Like I say, I think she's about 110. $101. Get me tape out the way. Yeah. I'll tag another video into here where I visit a lobster hatchery, talks to you all about the V-notches. No, calm down. But into this tail fan, or this tail fan, can be clipped to V. I'm going to show you that right now. A lobster that has been marked with a V-notch cannot be landed. Now those V's, they will grow out eventually as she sheds her shell, but it's going to take a couple of 3 sheds. So she can potentially breed 2 or 3 more times before she can be caught. So there could be upwards of 100,000 eggs in the ecosystem because of this V-notch. Now, V-notching clippers haven't been used this season. Right, there we go. That's all it is, it just cuts a little V. So, into that one and that one, I'm going to clip a little V. Just like that. Doesn't hurt her, just like you clipping your fingernails. There's the one I've just done. All you do is take the V-notching clippers and like that. That's it. Just cuts out a perfect little V like that. There you see her tail has been marked with 2 V-notches. There we go. She's got her V's and she's ready to go back. Just drop her back over the side now. You ready? Where you go. See you later. Some good clarity down there, haven't we? I call that a success. Yeah, I am really pleased with how this has held up. To be fair, if I'd known it was going to be that rough when I set out today, I probably wouldn't have gone. But when I got out there, I kind of figured, what better place and time to be able to test something out than the worst conditions possible. So yeah, I am really pleased. Great haul from only 5 pots, and for the first time out, 1 keeper lobster. Could have kept that spider crab, but chose not to, and that it was lovely to see that pregnant female lobster. Them V-notches now, they could keep her around for another 3 or 4 seasons. So you're looking at possibly 100,000 eggs that are now protected into the breeding stock just because of those little V-notches. If you want to know any more information about that, there are other videos on my channel that talks in depth about that when I go to the hatchery. I hope you've enjoyed joining me. All the very best. See you later. There's some big waves out here today. A little bit more swell than I thought there was going to be. But I'm out here now.